momentarily. You'll see it up there. And boom, we
Yep,
are
we're there.
live. The Hobby with Cage, episode 37. I've titled this one, Step Into the New Bullpen. And, if you don't know here, I mean, the guy sitting across from me, Mitchy the Kid from Little City Slickers. Bullpen,
Yep.
right? I mean, listen, some folks out there call themselves the card father. What would that make you? Does that make you the card god? Does that make you crazy?
I'm just me.
I don't know. What are you?
I'm just me.
Just
Mitch.
Mitch.
I'm just Mitch. I don't really change. I love the card industry. I just love doing what I do. It's been 23 years, and now we've gone into a new store, which it's behind us right now. It's I can kind of say I don't like to bolster myself, but I think it's the greatest shop in the country.
There we go. I'm going to either tell you to lean into the computer or talk into your earphones more. This way the folks actually can hear you, because what you're going to say is important. So, guys, this is fun. I think I may actually record 2 episodes here on Friday because I'm doing a little drip show later on, a little drippy drip coffee with Cage. But, I mean, I started seeing posts online. I saw a bullpen out there. I saw, Ty doing some posts, and
yep.
I'm like, let me reach out to Mitch and see if he has anything to tell the world here. Are you opening a store? Are you opening a new place? We
open a new store. The grand opening is tomorrow. Is trade night. We're going back to doing trade nights. That is one of our favorite things on the planet to do. This new store is an event center, is a marvel. There's no way I can describe it. Pictures don't do justice. Everybody walks in, they've seen the pictures, they've seen the video, and it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it. The wall of wax expanded. There's now tables for almost up to 400 people can sit and hang out. There's 11 TVs in the store. There's
to watch the whole NFL Sunday. You watch every game.
Just to let you know, there's a basketball court.
Look at that.
There's a basketball court.
You'd have a little hobby get together there. The hobby loves to play basketball against each other.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, we're talking to doing a free throw shooting contest. Doing some other really cool events over the next. And if you just haven't seen the wall of wax, just kind of
look at this. It looks. This looks significantly larger than the last place.
This one's 10,000 square feet.
Whew. All right, Mitch, I gotta ask, right? I mean, we do a pup piece. Everybody who's listening to this on Friday night and we're close enough to bullpen, stop by the grand opening. They got seats for 400, so try to be one of the first 400. I don't know. Bring a basketball. Challenge Mitch to a free throw competition, perhaps. He's going to be the guy not wearing shoes.
Yes, I will not be wearing shoes. I never do.
But here you go. I'll ask you. Any concern, any pause, in the environment that we have, macroeconomics overall, and the hobby itself, putting the pedal to the metal and really just expanding the store like you're doing?
Well, we have a theory here that, again, Fanatics is gobbling up everything. So they're the tornado, and then everybody's running away from it. We're going straight at it.
All right.
We don't really. We do what we do, and we've done it better than most for the last 5, 6, 7 years. So we're just going to continue to drive and keep going, doing what we do, putting our head down and driving through everything.
Well, Mitch, when did you open the? When did the first store open? When did Bullpen, first store open?
July 20th, 2000.
So 2000. So is part of the reason why you're not, concerned just because, you've seen ups and downs before, and, the hobby is something that was here before this recent, boom, and it's something that'll be here after?
Yeah, I've seen every turn and twist in the last 23 years. So you just got to learn to pivot.
Yep.
It's like you got to dodge some bullets, duck.
So tomorrow and, in the future, even if you don't make it there tomorrow, Bullpen's a place. We've got a wall of wax. You can have every kind of card you want. I'm sure you do breaking. I'm sure you do all kinds of stuff. You can have events, so look out for that. While I have you, look at you. While I have you with your vast expanse of, of hobby fun, I've said recently on my show that it's possible that the hobby is just one of these places that, every 20 years or so, there's a boom. And, there might not be this next kind of boom that we just saw for another 20 years. But what I don't get into is what it's like in those 10, 15 years between those booms. And people ask me about that. And, I mean, it's still active, right? There's still a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there was always been tons of stuff going on. You just had to know what stuff at certain points. You go back like 2010 to 2014, 15. You had 6 or 7 products as a store owner. You have 6 or 7 products that you make money on, and you've got to make sure you get your money out of the other products.
Okay.
There's certain products that drop right under cost. And you're like, okay, I'm going to make $1,000 on this case, but I'm going to lose $500 on this case. You move the case, you move them both, you take your little profit, and you move on, and you just keep going. And then hopefully there's a big product that comes out, and you make $5,000 on it. Or again, singles, you just kind of have to pivot. I always tell everybody, stay in your lane.
All right.
We do boxes and cases better than anything, so that's what we do. We do breaks, and that's what we do. We're getting into team breaks sometime in the next few months, or we'll get into PYTs. But right now we just do personals and hit drafts. Stay in our lane. So that's what we do, and we've driven.
People know where to come for it then. If that's your thing, people know you're the place to go for it, right?
Right, and we have inventory beyond inventory. So that's the other thing is, again, we're going back to doing fun again with the new store, with trade nights, and we'll probably do some signings sometime soon.
Cool.
I want to do a trade fest, a new 2-day trade fest that we do panels. That somebody who's on this interview with me right now is going to have to come out and host a couple panels with other people and ask questions.
That's cool. A little education, a little fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitch, what's funny is before we gloss over it too much, one of the things you just said, it's something I don't think we've ever really even talked about on the show. And it's cool. It gives kind of like a lifting of the veil, kind of like a look behind the Wizard of Oz curtain. You're not supposed to, pay attention to the man behind the curtain, right? But you kind of just gave a look back there, right? It's, when the going is great and you have this boom cycle, it doesn't make a difference what you have. Anybody can be a breaker. Anybody can get online. Anybody who can find product at Target can go and break Chronicles at a profit. It doesn't make a difference. But a lot of those folks are gone. And really what you just talked about is, it sounds like it's like part art, part science, maybe a little economics in there. And, when you're breaking products, you're getting this list of products. Some are going to be better than others, and some are going to be downright awful. And you have to know as a store, which products you have to, move, which products you have to maybe even take a small loss on, break even on, because there are going to be other products out there that you're going to be able to make your money on. And that's probably a foreign concept to a lot of people listening to this, and a lot of people who came on in the last couple of years, because it's almost been, it doesn't matter what the release is. It comes out, you can sell it for more, right?
Right. From the end of 19, 20, and the beginning of 21, didn't matter. You bought a box for $50, you sold it for $300, and you just kept turning. Now you get a box for $200, and like the day it comes out, it's at 210. You're like, do we just move it at 210 and get out of it, or before it drops to 190 or 180 or 170? Like, let's just move it. Let's get rid of it. I only want to carry 6 boxes on my shelf. I don't want to carry any cases. Let's move on. Let's keep looking at that.
I mean, people don't realize what goes into that. It's pretty interesting. It's like playing a little bit of Jenga with the product.
Yes, 100%. I mean, we look at. Again, my team is amazing. We sit down and we have staff meetings a couple times a day. There's one of the ones right behind me walking, and we sit down. We talk about what's in a product, and like, dude, we shouldn't carry a ton of this, or this is something we should load up on. Again, it's all depending on what distributors and your manufacturers with your allocation, because that's still the number one thing is your stuff to get the allocation, and then you got to start looking at trying to get more and more product on your secondary market.
I love it.
But a lot of shops. I mean, you can't sit on product. There's a lot of shops that don't have a bankroll of $1 million sitting behind them, or $500,000, or even a couple $100,000 behind them, and so they have to move product. You can't like buy 10 cases of National Treasure and just go sit on it. You won't be able to hit your bills next month. And that's what happened in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15. It was the same thing. You couldn't send it. You had to move it. Like, you got up in the morning and you were like, okay, we got to turn dollars here.
Yeah, the movie stuff. So I got a question for you. It's almost sort of like they call it an elevator pitch, right? In my other life, my 9 to 5, They tell you if you got an idea to pitch, you got something you're going to do. Make sure you have that 30-second elevator pitch ready to go in case you happen to be stuck in the elevator with the CEO, blah, 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 right? So I know why I like you. I mean, you give me like movies and I have to guess them. And, we text about, here, what's movie is this? I mean, that's fun for me, but it might not be fun for a lot of the other folks out there. So I kind of want your elevator pitch and two of them, right?
Okay.
The first one is, there's a lot of people out there who have money to spend. I mean, a lot of people on the West Coast, a lot of people within, geographic, proximity to your store, and of course, people online. What makes Bullpen the place they should be spending their money? What makes you different?
Well, now this store in
the new store
is 10,000 square feet. There's so much stuff. Our staff is ridiculously well-versed on every sport. We carry, at one time right now, we thought we had about 33,000 boxes. It's close to 38,000 boxes in the store. So if you're looking for product, we have it. Going back 5, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, we have all of it. So you come in, you're not going to look and go, hey, do you have?
Uh-oh. Well, you don't have 2 earpieces in. Go ahead and fix that one for me. It's all right. No worries. And by the way, folks, when they say they have everything, I mean, it really is true. Recently, I think Bullpen was the one that supplied all of the cards for the Griezmann soccer break. And we're talking about, modern stuff, older stuff, rarer soccer stuff, expensive soccer stuff. And they knew to go to you in order to kind of source the products, right?
Right. Thanks to you on that one. I really appreciate that. We put that together in like 8 days, and we had all of it, so it's fun. And we will do that again. We have a couple other celebrities coming to do that again with us.
So, Mitch, you got staff that I've actually talked to. I talked to the Mint. I bought some stuff from you there, and and you're at shows. I know you set up the National. One of the things that I love about your staff, knowledgeable folks. If a parent is listening to this and they're heading to the National, go to your table, or they're going to your store this weekend, this coming week, maybe somebody newish to the hobby. Is there a way for them to kind of pick somebody's brain on your staff? Like if if there's
Absolutely.
4 or 5, all right, talk to me about they kind of educate them. Okay, this product has this. Like let's say a kid wants to get Wembanyama cards, right? And right now they have the ability to open Chrome, Inception, Bowman's Best. But is there somebody there who can tell them, all right, the Bowman's Best, it's a cheaper box and it actually has live autos in it? Like, is there somebody there who could actually fill folks in? Because I think that's an important
everyone on my team, everyone on the team, including from Ty and my business partner Ty, who's seriously the best, to all of our staff, can explain everything from what rookie classes, from current to the last 10, 12 years. We all do our studying. We all do homework. I only hire within. So when I hire somebody new, it's got to be within our group of people that have come in the store, and then we hire the kid, and then they just expand their knowledge more and more because we test them constantly. I mean, there's one of our guys, Husto, is if you just yell out a player what college he goes to, he'll tell you what college he goes to.
It's funny, right? You get regulars, okay, that could probably be a kid we hire. I remember in the early to mid 90s, my brother and I grew up in Staten Island, and cards started getting interesting. It was before numbering, but I think I've told this story. Absolute Football in 95 had what was called Hog Heavens and Pigskin Previews. And they were cards that like the whole football was leather, or one of them was this cool blue front, like Emmitt Smith had it, Isaac Bruce had it.
It was the last card in the pack.
It was blue, but even better, it was a blue one, and the whole back of the card was leather. It looked like your Levi's patch, like the rectangle was all leather, and the front they had the leather, just the football coming through the card, right? So they had basically this leather square, like very thick leather card. And you're right, sometimes they were in the same. So what would happen is my brother and I figured out that even after they opened the box and shuffled them, that the leather smelled. And we could smell the card through the pack. And we were like, here you go. This is where it is. This is where it is. I'll reshuffle them. We were nicknamed the Brothers Grimm. So I know exactly what you're talking about. You kind of like know which kid is going to, all right, that kid there. That's going to be, that's going to be a hobby person right there.
Yeah, you see when they come in and they want to learn, they want to sit, they just kind of follow you around. You kind of go to the right side. They come and follow you, and you're like, okay. When you get to be 16 or 17, come back and we'll give you a job. And they don't want to leave. This is
good.
What the shop is. Yeah. Oh no. And so no, we love the kids, and again, we're trying to get together at dinner with all the kids who I've had for the last 20 years.
That's cool.
And they're all over the country, and they're doing really well. So I talk to most of the kids who've worked here constantly. At least once every couple of weeks, I'll speak to most of them.
So I got 2 questions for you, and I let you go, and I'll make sure I get this up early enough this way folks know that we got Bullpen LA opening on Saturday the 8th. It's the full-on opening of the store. Come on down. Obviously, you don't have to just go there the 8th, the 9th, the 10th. They're open every day thereafter, but that's when they're opening up to the public. 365. That's the deal. So 2. One will be pretty easy, and the other one, I'm curious to see where you go with it, right? They tell you in law school, don't ask questions you don't know the answer to. I think I know the answer to the first one. The second one, I'm mildly curious to see which way you take. The first one's easy. Obviously, you're going to the National. What can folks expect from you at the National? Why should folks come to your table at the National? What are you kind of doing that's like a differentiator at the National?
The National we'll be doing a couple of podcasts. We're going to be working with Daddy Rips, who's going to be shooting some content with Ben. One of my kids, Zane, and Ty will be there. And we're going to be giving a bunch of stuff away. There's going to be video of the new shop about all the stuff that we do. We'll probably be buying, but just come down and hang out. And anybody who wants information about learning the industry, come on.
Yeah,
he knows
a little.
Talk about investment. If you talk about investments, you want to talk about anything you want, I'm an open book. I'll answer any question you want.
That's it. Well, he definitely is an open book. I will tell you that. And he answers the questions. So we'll see how open the book is, right? So the elevator pitch to the CEO was easy when it's, all right, your customer. It's, hey, there's a kid or there's a parent out there, there's a family, and they're coming to your store. Why should they come to Bullpen LA? This one, I only have one question in 27 parts. Do you know what movie? Dr. Barbe, Back to School. Yeah. Nice job. The answer is 4. So, there you go. The answer is 4. That's it. Oh, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. So my question, if you were doing that elevator pitch to Fanatics, if you were in the elevator with Michael Rubin, if you got invited to the white party, and I'm going to take it 2 ways and let you answer either one or both or whatever it is. Number 1, what would you tell them about the hobby itself and what they might be missing, what they're getting right, what they're getting wrong? And then more specifically to you, if you had, you knew there was no repercussions, you knew they weren't going to take anything out on you, from a hobby store specific, like what would you want Fanatics to know about hobby stores, the pain points to them, something that you think would probably make it better if they knew and could kind of either, act in a certain way or not do something a certain way? Feel free to take these however you want, man. I'm like I did. One question in 27 parts.
I love it. So I know everybody at Fanatics. I've not had the pleasure of meeting Ruben yet, but I've met everybody else. The thing that I would love to I try to talk to them about is learning the history of the hobby.
Okay.
History, as a lawyer, and you are extremely smart, you understand history always repeats itself.
It does.
And so some of the things that they have done or been doing have already been done. And I would love to sit down and explain to them that this has already happened. This went on 10 years ago or 12 years ago. I think they're trying to control. I don't like the one thing that I really don't like, and again, this is both Fanatics and PSA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like PSA owning Golden. I think that's just too much of a conflict. Fanatics with Fanatics Live, Fanatics Collectible, and the other one which would be PWCC. That's owning a little too much of the pie at this point.
But wouldn't they tell you though that if Collectors has both PSA and Golden, and Fanatics has Fanatics distribution and PWCC, like it's not one company that is the juggernaut monopoly. It's at least two, and then obviously you have other auction houses like Heritage that's out there, which is huge.
Right.
Not, I mean, no.
But like see if you go to eBay or you go to Fanatics Live.
Yep. eBay's huge too.
Yeah, and you open a card and they go like, listen, we're going to send this to our grading card company that I mean, come on, let's be honest. Fanatics is going to buy a grading card company sometime soon. And then he goes to the grading card and then they can sell. So you never touch your own card.
Okay.
And that's something that I think that's just too many hands on the card. If I'm a collector, I just want the card.
Yep.
I don't want to have to, if you're into flipping and everything else, it's just a little too many hands from a manufacturer to doing. I think they're just trying to put their hands on everything.
Okay.
And that kind of scares me a little bit.
So Mitch, before you continue down the road about like what they might be able to change about like hobby stores or what you'd want them to know about hobby stores, your answer gives me another question. And it's something that you can probably, really opine on because of your 20, et cetera, years opening, as an open hobby store and more than that in the hobby itself. I think everybody with the money coming in now assumes that what you just described is the way they want the hobby to go. They want, you don't have to touch your card. But if you go back a couple of years, that was not the way that it was. It was not vault everything. It was not break it online, never see it, send it to a grading company, have the grading company send it to an auction house or a consignor. It's sold and it's your money, right? Does there get to be a point where, I guess collectors say, hey, I want to hold the card. Like I want to see the card, or are we all just catering to, the best way for me to say it is, and I've talked about this.
I know exactly what you're saying.
It's like a slot machine, right? I've said it's like a slot. I mean, instead of a card, it's now just it's cherries. It's, it's bells and bars. It's let me pull the slot machine arm, put $100 in because that's the cost of the box, and hope that after I don't even need to touch hope that after the machine has done its thing, and the box has been opened and the card has been sent in to the grading company, the auction house, that maybe I can get more than that 100 back and put it right back in the machine.
Going back to starting to break, and I started breaking in 2012, and I literally seriously there's parts of me that don't get it. I love opening packs of cards.
Right.
We all do. Touching cards, feeling cards. It's one of those things that we've always done since we were kids. And the online aspect has kind of changed that to a whole different level. I mean, you still a grading card, still a card you get to hold. But they don't want anybody to touch the card. This just goes to another, and it's sold, and you get your money back, or it's just put in your account and you can go spend it again.
Yep.
So those are things that it's a little different. I might be just too old school to see that.
Well, I mean, I feel like we would be standing in front of the train and it would run us both over if we said that that's something that shouldn't happen. I mean, it's going to happen. It's happening already.
100%. It's happening.
It's a segment of it out there. But I think what you're trying to say, and I mean, maybe I'm there with you, is there still has to be a segment of the hobby that is for collectors who actually want to hold their cardboard. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this shop is designed to come down, sit down, open a box of cards, talk to people, sleeve your stuff up, tenny sleeve it, top it, put it in a box, and like have it home so you can go home and show off your cards and enjoy and have fun. That's not the online experience. I mean, the online experience is still fun and you try to get a community. We're talking about maybe doing like a name tag of your Instagram name on it, because half these people don't know each other.
Smart.
But
That's very smart.
Yeah.
I may actually steal that idea from you at National and bring some name tags and have people put their IG name on it. I mean, why the hell not? When people introduce themselves to me, the first thing I say is, I'm an idiot. Don't hold this against me. What's your IG name? That way I know who I'm talking to. And make sure, send me a message after this. Make sure that I'm following you. If not, I will follow you back. And we've talked and the whole, I mean, it's an online world, right? Yeah.
I still am an interactive guy. I still love sitting down, talking to people. Like at Mint, doing the 2 panels at Mint were just made my whole weekend. I mean, I just had such a good time talking about the industry. It's what I love to do. And again,
did doing the
ABC
panel make your weekend, or was it the late night pizza delivery at 2:30 a.m. from yours truly at the blackjack table that made your weekend? I think that was helpful.
I think the pizza was so good. That was so good. That's a long story, guys. Off camera, come see either one of us, and we'll go over that story. It's an amazing story.
It's good stuff.
But
The hobby hangouts, they get fun, and it's funny, Mitch, because I'll let you kind of opine on it. The last 2 episodes I've done, they've, it's funny. Last week I did a bull and a bear case for the hobby, and the last 2 episodes I did were, one was check in on folks, the hobby check in, because people are leaving, people are not having fun, people are losing money, and then I talked about Bleecker and having an in-person event and how my mindset changed, because we often get into the hobby is what Instagram tells us it is. Hobby is what's going on. And I think what you've just opened my eyes to is it may not just be the hobby on Instagram versus the hobby in, get-togethers at a Bleecker or at your store. You could even go one step further. That hobby check-in is needed for people who are vaulting. Like, the cards themselves become part of the nostalgia, part of the draw to it. And maybe the collector versus investor, the happier person has their card in hand. I mean,
right. I got it. I mean, it's whatever card you really like. I mean, one of the people who work for us in our Burbank store, she's a Bo Bichette fan.
All right.
That's what Jimmy.
Fantastic Dodger.
Yep. Oops. That's, I mean, but so watch anybody pull a card that they really want and open up. There's nothing like watching kids or adults pull something that they love. I mean,
I opened Topps flagship Series 1, and I apologized to my son when the box has crap in it. And he goes, "Are you kidding me? We just pulled an Ian Happ," because he collects Ians, because that's his name.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ian Anderson, Ian Happ, Ian Gary, Ian Book. He was not happy when that guy got cut, because we have a whole bunch of Ian Book cards. Ian Book, come back. Good. Let's go. 2023 Ian Book, come back.
You got to get an autograph from one of them. Like, thank you.
The hobby store, right? So if I know you talk to folks at Fanatics, right? But if I were to clip the next minute and it's Mitch telling Fanatics, when you're dealing with hobby stores, 1, 2, 3, or this is what you need to make sure you take into account, I would take a stab at it. And it's kind of, I think that hobby stores are kind of the gateway to the hobby for a lot of people. I understand that that's changed a lot over time, because people now get on Instagram, even Twitch or whatever it is. And for many, backyard and breaking is sort of like the entryway. But I know for me and for a lot of collectors, the LCS is something that started us off, and the LCS is still the lifeblood of the hobby. It's what connects the actual collector to the cards that these folks are making, right?
It is. I mean, the key thing is you got to find people who are knowledgeable. Again, breaking is still. I think breaking still leads into, especially East Coast breaking, because they're the first one that sees the box that comes out on Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday morning at 5 a.m, they're breaking on the East Coast. So they get to see, then they come into the store, and then you can try to sell them on that box. But the first usually either Cardboard Connection or Beckett or whatever you want, or Card Letter, all that stuff has the information on it. But you got it still in person, still helps. And I just like the experience. Again, I still am a giant believer in face-to-face knowledge and talking to. I mean, we have into another realm in gaming. I allow people to come in and play. We have another gaming store that we allow people to play, because it's your interaction with people face to face is so much better than on a computer screen or anything else. I mean, if you were in LA, you would be here every day hanging out with me, except when you had to go to court.
Yep.
I mean, I'd probably just give you an office in the back. So you could...
It'd be fun. We record and we just shout out movie lines. Like, he got this one. That's it. But, who's going to break this streak and get it wrong? No, but I mean, listen, so it's one of the things that I'm learning, even, years, decades into the hobby. You meet hobby friends, you meet new folks. Somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, you don't know me from anything, but, do you know anything that's going on at the National?" And I asked around and, got him an invitation to a party, which I think you might be sponsoring, and, that I don't know whether or not that person is staying in the hobby, but I think doing something like that and then getting to meet him in person, it at least, gives us a fighting chance. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what
absolutely. And again, we're all about community. That's, if I haven't said that yet today, which I don't think I have, community is such a very big part of it. Pandemic stopped it because we couldn't bring people in together. This store that we're doing brings this back. And we've been working on this store for 6 months.
Yep.
And all we talk about is fun, community, and bringing people back into the. Again, we'll have another dozen people that I've not seen in 3 or 4 years that'll come in tomorrow night and walk in like, oh my God. And, I mean, hugs will be everywhere.
That's great. That's what it's about. There's the backbone, right? Because I think really what we're all saying here is that community, those friends, the stories, the nostalgia, the cardboard itself. If there happens to be a down period, if it happens to get a little tougher in the markets on the investing side, it's that stuff that gets you through it. It's that stuff that makes this hobby still a place that you want to come to. Those hangouts, those hugs, right? Those people who you've known for decades who still want to come in, open a box of cards with you and see what they get.
Right. That's what it is. That's what I mean. This hobby has been my whole life. I mean, half my life, and I still love it. And there's not a day that goes by that I wouldn't want to do exactly what I'm doing.
There we go. So how many stores you got, and what's the next one we're opening?
Don't know the next one. I have my Burbank store, Bullpen Burbank. I have my gaming store, and I have this store, which is now everything.
This is the mothership, right?
Yep. Wait. Where is she? She's gonna come say
hello. There
hello.
she is. Ty, come say hi. This, by the way,
he has my AirPods on.
This is the brain trust. This is the real boss.
Yep.
This is the one that runs the whole thing. I'm glad
she's running back.
I'm glad she can't waste a half an hour talking to me. She's got a store to open.
Oh my God! And again, all the things that happen that everybody thinks I'm that one. She's so much smarter than I am. She's brilliant.
Behind every dumb guy like you and me, there is a brilliant woman, and it really is true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
It really is true.
She's the one that puts us all in. And again, people come out and see us. Watch the videos tomorrow. Watch the videos anytime. I can't describe this new shop without just like smiling. I mean, it's just the work and the mastery of what we did. There's sunlight. I mean, we don't really have our lights on because we don't need it. We have sunlight.
Wow.
Little roll-up door.
All right.
Cool
So
when you go
come to Bullpen, guys. Check out the wall of cards and get some vitamin D. I mean, get some sun. I like it. Put it right there on the business card. Free vitamin D for all. The packs are costing some money. Mitch, it's been fun as always, guys. If you happen to be within a geographic location that's close enough to Mitch, stop on over. They're open. Obviously, if you can't make it there tomorrow, the store's open. Give him a call. Make sure he has what you're looking for, because if he doesn't, they'll get it for you. But chances are they have it.
Pretty much.
We'll see you at National.
Guys. Absolutely. Cage, we'll talk soon. Thank you again for letting me come on. Appreciate you.
Anytime.